Hello and welcome. Well, this is a little bit of a Motor Cars special. As I was thinking about this video over the past couple of weeks, we're 2 weeks removed from the Geneva Motor Show, where 3 supercars made their official debut, one production-wise, and the other 2 at least showing off what could be coming. Well, I guess 2 of them were production-wise, I guess, really. Now, this is a little deal of would you rather. Which of one of these automobiles would you like? I got to thinking about this. My videos don't get the massive amount of views that some of the bigger shows do, but I thought that I couldn't pass this up because how many times in my lifetime, this may be the last time in my lifetime, with the high-end supercars make official debuts at the same motor show. So this is a would you rather. Don't think about pricing or goodness how many were built or how much they may be worth or how practical they could or couldn't be. Just all about the passion. Which one of these automobiles would you like? We got 3 on offer. You know which 3 I'm probably talking about. And I'm going to give you a 1 that if you really don't care about any of the 3, you could go for that particular version. First up on the list is the Lamborghini Veneno. Now the Veneno to me is not the world's most attractive automobile. I do like the big dorsal fin that kind of goes in between the rear end of the car all the way to the rear wing. I think that's pretty slick, but the rest of the car is just so over the top boy racer, and this coming from an old boy racer that I just would thought that I would really love this car, and I really don't. I thought the Aventador J was actually a pretty good looking car, but when I first saw this thing, I gasped. It was so unattractive. Now, only 4 of these are going to be built. One of them is going to the Lamborghini Museum, and the other 3 are actually going into owners' hands as they've already all been sold. Pricing on it's at $3.9 to $4.5 million, depending on who you believe. Now, the real numbers about this car are 6.5-liter V12, putting out 750 brake horsepower. It's going to do 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds and a top speed of 221 miles an hour. The car's ultra carbon fiber throughout. Now it basically is just an Aventador, but it's not a bad program or not a bad platform to actually base your vehicle on. This particular automobile, I don't know what it is about it, but I was really excited when they were going to come out with this thing and thought they were just going to try to take a jab at Ferrari and McLaren putting this thing out, but was hugely disappointed in this automobile. But that being said, it would not be my choice between these automobiles, but don't let me choose for you. Next up on the list is the McLaren. Now the McLaren is the first ever vehicle that's real deal production. The Lambo was too, but this is real deal production. They're going to build 375 of these units, costing somewhere around $1.3 million. Now, this vehicle to me, the styling is really what puts me off on this vehicle. I don't like the big goofy grin. I don't like the big side coves. But I tell you what, if Ron Dennis ever sees this show and he would love to send me one of the strut mounts for the rear wings, I would cherish that for the rest of my life. I don't know what it is about that particular part of the automobile that I really think is super cool. Now let's talk about the real numbers on this automobile. A 3.8-liter twin turbocharged V8 putting out 727 brake horsepower and 531 pounds-feet of torque. It's mated with an electric engine that will actually put out 176 brake horsepower and 191 pounds-feet of torque. Talking about numbers, 0 to 60 numbers in under 3 seconds and a top speed of 217 miles an hour, which is limited. The vehicle will be run through a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission as well. Now, again, as far as the loves about this automobile, I love the geeky numbers when it comes to this car. I love that McLaren has taken every bit of racing knowledge and has thrown it at this automobile, from DRS to the push-to-pass, if you will, as far as the little Hy-KERS or the KERS system like it is in a Formula 1 car. I love that the tires are bespoke to this vehicle and can handle up to 2 Gs of cornering speed, and the amount of downforce that this automobile is. I don't know why I dislike this car. I do like the MP412C, which just kind of doesn't make much sense why I don't like this one. Neither here nor there, so don't let me sway you in any way, shape, or form. And this is the automobile that usually gets me in the most trouble, at least with the fanboys. Next up on the list, or the third car on this listing, is the Ferrari LaFerrari. Same deal. I don't really care for the nose of this thing. I think the rear end of the car, at least coming up to the roof, looks like somebody trying to sink down in a turtleneck sweater. I don't really care for the looks of this automobile, which is funny. The 458 is finally starting to grow on me, so maybe this one will too. Let's talk about the Uber numbers when it comes to this deal. 499 of these vehicles are going to be built at a price somewhere over $1 million. No one's really quite for sure yet. 6.3 liter V12 putting out 800 brake horsepower, and the 2 electric Hy-KERS system is going to be putting out another 163 brake horsepower. 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds, and a top speed of 217 miles an hour, which is also limited. This vehicle will be running on a 7-speed dual clutch transmission as well. Apparently the hybrid systems in both these automobiles are going to limit their speed to that kind of speed. And the biggest thing that I can't stand about this particular automobile is its name, LaFerrari. The Ferrari LaFerrari, which is basically the Ferrari in English. I think it's an awful name, and I wish they would change it. But neither here nor there. The Ferrari may be the choice of you. Now we're going to talk about the car that I would choose, and the car that really isn't in the contest because it really isn't a production vehicle. It's the Koenigsegg Agera R 100. Now it's only built as being the 100th automobile that Koenigsegg has ever built, but for whatever reason I think this is the most sexy supercar on the planet. The 24 karat gold trim is kind of cool, I guess. The bare carbon's really cool, especially those brand new carbon fiber wheels. There's only one of these being built, and whether it ever gets sold or not, with no idea of what pricing could be on this vehicle, nobody really knows. Now it does come with a 5 liter twin turbocharged V8 putting out 1,030 brake horsepower. The cars, the dislikes are maybe the doors are kind of wonky, and then they're cool, but they're really kind of weird. The hugely uber scary handling that this vehicle has. I think if I ever got to drive one of these cars, it would write my obituary. But it is my pick of the three, because I don't really care for any of the other three. Now you can come down into the comments section at the bottom of the page here if you want to, and just write in whatever you think, whether you think the LaFerrari, the Koenigsegg, the McLaren P1, or the Lamborghini, any one of the three, or the four I guess I should say. Or you can go over to the Motor Cars Enthusiast Facebook page, and in a couple of weeks I'm going to reveal the results. And I know my channel doesn't get the kind of results that this thing's going to take to get a real look at this, so we're going to look back at it again, hopefully in the summertime, if my memory works. Also, if you want to go over to the Facebook page, we have a good time over there. You can like us over there and get to see what all the good stuff we play around with there. Also, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first hits on the brand new videos as soon as they're out. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this week's Motor Cars Enthusiast. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.